had it.
Okay, so who finished? We were saying.
Where'd Julie go?
Oh.
Did you get graduated? Just kidding.
No, I did not. There's no way.
She fell asleep.
Oh, there she is. There she is.
I was worried.
left the meeting.
I thought I accidentally somehow kicked you out or removed
No,
you.
I accidentally clicked leave meeting.
Like, bye. That's funny. So who finished it? I know Karina did.
I did.
I finished it.
I finished.
Okay, cool.
Am I the only one? God damn it.
No.
I didn't finish.
Oh.
I needed chapter 10. It was short, but
I started chapter 9.
What do we think of this so far?
Good.
Like it.
I think this is the first like historical story for me. I don't think I've ever really finished or have been intrigued by one. So it's different for me. I think it's slower, but I'm not necessarily bored. And I hope I don't get bored. Because I don't like history.
I love it.
Oh, no, I forgot.
I feel like it's picking up little by little. It's like it keeps me intrigued.
With that dad thing, that's what
That was a big spin.
I was going like this, and then I was like, wait, what just happened? Literally, that was my turn.
I was very surprised by that. Oh, go ahead, Kitty.
No, you go.
Oh, I was just saying I was surprised by that. That's all.
I like it because I feel like I'm having issues trying to figure out who I support and who I like and like what I do and don't think is like right or wrong. Because at first I thought they had like the perfect family, like her parents loved each other, and now you come to find out they have major issues, and he has a wife, another wife, a common law wife, and now she's Bella's trying to get spicy with JP Morgan.
I know, and he's 70.
That's kind of creepy, right?
I don't know how to feel about it. Pictures of him. Look at pictures of him, guys. I don't get it.
Oh, I thought you were gonna be like, he's beautiful.
No, he looks scary. He looks straight up scary. He looks extremely intimidating. So I don't.
Okay, I'll do it and I'll hold it up to the screen.
Yeah, do it.
Oh yeah, let's see.
Yeah, no. Oh my god, he's bald. First of all.
Oh yeah, he does have an intense look.
Why do they have him as the Monopoly? Is he the Monopoly?
Yeah, he looks like the guy to the left is his son, but the one on the right, that's him.
Oh, okay. This one, right?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, yeah, he has an intense
and look. The whole like nose thing, he had untreated rosacea issues, so his nose was very like huge and misshapen. Not to, that's not nice to make fun of someone for that, but
I wonder if it's like
also he is very intense. He's intense eyes.
Yeah. I wonder if it's just like an attraction based on like intellectual things, because they have that in common. But yeah, those two instances where she was like, oh, I feel a moment of attraction. I'm like, wait, is this going to turn like a ton of different route than what I was expecting?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that at all, and I was like, no.
Yeah,
I didn't like it.
Me, I agree. It made me uncomfortable, and at first I thought it was more like, oh, he's the one being attracted, but the fact that she kept bringing it up, I'm like, no, I don't like you anymore.
I wonder if it's because they spend so much time together too, and she's just like so fascinated by everything, or if he is like looking at her that way. I don't know, because it seems he has his like mistresses and everything, so he seems pretty busy on that aspect. But I don't know.
Even with that, obviously she knows what happened with her parents, and then he sees that he has a wife, right? And he's over here doing this, and yet she's over here like kind of wanting to be attracted to him. Like, I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
maybe she
wondering.
is like really attracted to his kind of his power and his and
Mhm.
the like kind of just like she's new to this kind of scene,
Yeah.
and he like just like has so much influence over everyone, is so comfortable like in his own skin,
Mhm.
and that's something she's never felt because she's always having to like have a mask on, and and so maybe she's just attracted to that kind of attitude, and that she feels like he's accepting her
Mm.
in a way.
Right.
I was thinking, what if she's attracted to this other side, the white side, how the mom was saying, and the wealth that she can get and the different opportunities she can get being around him. And I don't know, like I feel like it's gonna end up going towards them dating or getting married, and I don't like it. I hope it doesn't. I'm not gonna look into it, but
I feel though if it goes that route, the daughter will try to like get her, 'cause she already seems to be poking and prodding and not liking her. I do feel like it's jealousy though, like she probably doesn't maybe like her dad spending so much time, and maybe she's fed up with the mistresses. And it seems like the description says that the mistresses are older, like maybe more his age. So maybe she's threatened that it's like someone younger, more her age, if she thinks they're having an affair or something like that. That's the only thing I could think of.
Maybe she's also has some missing dad issues. And it's like that's her type.
Oh my gosh.
She wants a daddy.
Daddy issues.
oh man.
Maybe because isn't she the oldest, right?
I want to say so. I got lost when they were mentioning all the kids. I'm like, wait, who are we talking about?
I can't keep track of them either.
No. And then I put a little sticky on there, but I'm like, yeah, I'll go back to it. No, I don't want to. There's too many. I just remember Teddy is the youngest, right? And then when I think that she was like, oh, I don't even know if she really knows our history or where we came from, except the new one that her mom created, which I thought interesting.
It's reminding me a lot of The Vanishing Half and what her name was, Stella, right? The one that tries to pass and she lived the lavish life in LA. So I wonder like if it's going to be more similar to that, or if it's going to like if she's going to be revealed somehow. I thought the part where this serving person kind of figured her out at the party was very interesting, but I feel like it would just be so anxiety provoking if you have to pretend something all the time. And what if someone finds you out, what do you do then?
Yeah. Do you think the daughter kind of knows? Or do you think she's saying that? Because I think I didn't finish chapter 10, but I did see something that they were saying this olive skinned woman or something like that.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if she's just assuming or she's trying to like make her mad or something by saying that, even though maybe she doesn't really know.
Maybe she's trying to provoke her and see what information she can get.
Yeah.
I like reading about. Oh, go ahead, Julie.
I feel like there's gonna be some conflict because it seems like everything's kind of going well for her. Like she's having struggles, but she's succeeding at everything. So I don't know if the conflict's gonna be over her race or with the love interest or what.
In the beginning, was there someone else she was interested in, or it seemed like she was interested in? Was it the son or the nephew or the
nephew?
Nephew?
I don't know if she was actually really interested in him. I think she just was like friends or worked with him. But I don't know that she ever said if she was like attracted.
I see.
I think he is just kind of like an acquaintance or colleague and kind of a means to an end in terms of helping herself get advanced in her career because of the connections that he has too. Because she seems to know how to work the crowd and like people. So it's a good skill, but I sometimes wonder like if it's a little duplicitous just because she is, working so hard to maintain a certain vibe with people, like whatever she thinks will be best, instead of like, I guess I'm wondering like what is her personality really like? It seems like it's what she is when she's with JP Morgan, but I feel like it's strange how I guess we all do it in a sense, but she adjusts to every situation that she's in with different people based on what she thinks they're going to want to see or hear, I guess.
Yeah, it was a little disconcerting because you like hear her in these scenes where she's like interacting with these society people and she's being like really, really witty and really like charming and, and then you kind of like hear her like when she's talking about like her family and like her past and stuff, and it seems more like down to earth. So it's like you kind of wonder like what's the real her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe she doesn't even know.
But yeah, I think she must be very confused because she's had to live up to her mom's expectations for so long too. And the mom's like something too because she's making her study after the party when she wants to take a break for once. I felt like that was a little bit toxic.
That was really sad. When she was like, you think another JP Morgan will come knocking on your door if you fail? Like she's already thinking she's gonna fail.
Yeah.
It's sad.
That moment for me was sad, but then I feel like she appreciated the fact that her mom was there with her instead of like the previous nights where she was studying by herself. That little thing, I was like, "Aw," but at the same time, like she was technically like working, She's over here having to pull up a face for everyone else that she doesn't know, and yet the mom is like, "No, you got to keep studying." And I was like, "Pobrecita, you're gonna get a break." And I feel like maybe the issues will be with the family later on, maybe the mom, or just overall, I guess overall the family, because I feel like maybe the way she's becoming with everyone else, with the wealthy, that confident, that bold, whether it's her or not, I feel like it's gonna stick around, and then that's how she's gonna be with her family, and they're kind of gonna be like, "Who are you?" Maybe possible.
Yeah. It almost reminds me of what is that movie? The Mean Girl movie, where like somebody comes and they like look a little more plain, casual style, and then they turn into like fabulous something to blend in with a certain crowd. I wonder if her clothes are gonna get fancier. I do enjoy like the description of like the interior of the places and the clothes and the items that she's looking at. So I wonder if she's gonna continue to kind of like mold herself to that style with her clothes as well, especially because the younger sister likes looking at fashion things.
I thought that was cute.
That
her sister was trying to help her out.
How do you guys feel about the mom's? Well, I think the mom is an interesting character. She's very complex. But how do you feel about her decision about making sure that her children, like they put white on the census, that they're having to take a white name, like erase their Black heritage pretty much? Like, do you think it's all just to protect them, or do you think she has some prejudice?
I understand like why she would want to do it, because she wants her kids to have opportunity and she really values success and like she feels like her kids deserve that. But I think it's also really sad because of like what the father went through and like everything that's kind of like in like what her father did is part of her history, but really striving to make inroads into push the community forward and like strive for equal rights, and that's part of her history, but she has to completely ignore that and like act like it doesn't happen, it doesn't have any connection to her, and just completely make a new identity for herself. And I think that that's really sad, and it's kind of like cutting her off from her true self. And even though she's getting all of these opportunities, I just think there's no way that that doesn't really mess someone up.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I feel like part of it's the mom wanting a better life for her children, but I think part of it's like something with her, like not feeling good enough or wanting to just keep up or wanting to attain something that she can't have because it did cost her her marriage, and it seemed like they were doing okay before, but I feel like she wanted more. Kind of like it was displayed in the argument that she had with her husband, you know, where they were already kind of like passing, but then she made it like official by putting it on the census as well. And I think if someone were to find that out in those times, like the family could be in some sort of trouble as well.
Is the mom passing or is she actually white? I feel like that was confusing for me.
I don't think she's white. I don't
Oh.
think the mom is white.
Mhm.
Right? Did everyone else come to that conclusion?
I think they're not white. None of the parents. I just think that the dad is a bit darker than the mom. And I found it interesting that when they were having the argument about the census, she was like, oh no, we're gonna, they're gonna be white. But prior to that, I remember when I think it was the party, the 10th birthday party, where the dad was giving her a book and was like, oh, you can become this and become that. And the mom was like, as a brown girl, she cannot, like, she's not going to be able to do that. She should be a teacher. I found that interesting because we got the opposite in the beginning. So I wonder where that turned. And she was like, no, I'm not even going to call you brown. You are white. And we're going to be white. Change your last name and everything, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe there was something that I'm sorry, Belle, that's her, Belle.
Belle.
That's her name.
Yeah.
Maybe she like had some kind of aptitude after that, or like something that her mom was like, oh, this girl is special. Like we need to give her every opportunity, and that means that we need to, be white.
Yeah.
And maybe before because she was kind of like limiting her and being like, oh no, she could never do that. But maybe like something happened and she was like, oh, this is serious. Like this is our chance. We need to do this.
And she's the only one with the Costa, right? The other kids don't have it? Or do all the kids have it?
I think the other kids are just from Greener. It changed to Green, right?
Yeah.
That's what I recall. Yeah, I feel like it was a little bit like, this is why I don't really know what I think of the mom as well. I feel like she's a little sketchy because at first she was like, no, you can't be an art historian.
Yeah.
But then suddenly she's like, okay, yes, go work with JP Morgan, like go do all the things.
Yeah.
And I wonder sometimes too, I feel like I've seen what sometimes when like child like just does okay or not good, but then there's another child that does do really good, like the parents will sometimes like be a little bit more invested in that child because it's like the success child, and they'll want to push them even further because like possibly another kid in the family did not have like that equal success, if that makes sense. And the mom has so much writing on the children's success. I felt like I understand like that they had to do what they needed to do, but I felt like it was sad that like her success is just like the other people are seeing how their lives are going to benefit from her success. When nowadays it's more like, okay, like it's good to help, but the success and what you do is really for yourself, because like at the end of the day you have only yourself really.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting when she was saying that her commitment was now succeeding in this job for her family. And kind of saying like, this amount of money is really going to help my family and I got to make sure I don't fail. And she was adding so much pressure. I mean, herself, but also I think the mom, which I think it's intense. A bit too intense. But I mean, maybe that's how it was back then, since like they were saying, all the other kids, I think one of them's an engineer, right?
He's studying to be an engineer.
But they weren't getting as much money as like how she is with this healthy group community.
Do you guys think that because she is where she is in this book and because she's gotten the job that she's gotten and she is having access to all these people and she's so successful, do you think there's any justification to what the mom did in having them pass? Or like any, I don't know. Because I think morally I don't agree with it. But you could argue that by doing it, she got to a place that she would have never gotten to in this society that just doesn't accept people who aren't white.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, I mean, they're not, and they never mentioned the whole, what race are you, what, you know, like when the daughter was like, oh, who are your people? And the JP Morgan wasn't like, wait, what do you mean? Like, you know, he wasn't, like, he was kind of saying, or I got the thought that he didn't really think about the race or anything. It was more like seeing her interest and the passion and her skill. But if she was darker, I feel like they would definitely overlook all the skill and everything else because of the time this was occurring. So I can see it happening that way. I don't think that's what happened, but I think it may have helped her.
Yeah.
Sadly.
That's a good question, Paula, but I don't know if I have an answer because I feel like I could see both sides, but I can't decide. I mean, I know I don't like the idea of lying, but at the same time, like, I guess I can't, like, understand, like, what a parent would do if they were in that situation. But I do think that on the other side of what Judith was saying, I think it's possible that JP Morgan does know or suspect, and he just doesn't care because his library, and that's like higher priority to him. I don't know. Yeah, that's a good question.
I hope the book, like, throughout this whole, you know, it seems like a lot has already happened and it's still at the very beginning. But I hope the book kind of, like, you know, interrogates that and we see, like, what was the cost and was there, you know, was it worth it?
Yeah, because the cost is definitely, like you were mentioning, kind of like hiding all that heritage and all that history and the dad, kind of like what we saw in The Vanishing Half too. And that definitely comes at a cost. Like, I don't think people are really meant to live like their life hiding one identity. You know, I feel like somehow it will show, you know, or it'll come at a cost to the people who are doing it for sure.
I wonder if the dad will show up and then that's how they'll discover, like, fully her whole background. Because he's darker colored, right?
It appears.
I think so.
With his new family.
That was intense. During that part, I was listening to it. So when it was happening, I was like, wait, wasn't she just with her dad? Because I missed the whole flashback to the party. And yeah, that's just sad. And the poor mom, obviously, no, she's not going to tell anybody.
Yeah. I wonder if the mom will hold on to what Belle is doing even harder now that the dad is not in the picture too, because I feel like she's super angsty right now. Like, it says, oh, she's not wearing the shawl that the dad got her, and she's looking serious whenever she's, you know, coming in. The girls are talking about the party and having fun. She just is very, very serious. And I also feel a little bit sad for the dad that I don't know, like, if they're gonna have contact, but back in those times, like, he won't be able to see that his daughter actually was able to succeed, you know, even if she has to do it.
Did they say if the mom works? Is the mom also a teacher? Or is the mom just...
She was teaching piano, I think, and then once they had some money from the librarian job, then she was able to stop teaching piano. I wonder if she'll be able to find the Caxton too that JP Morgan wants. I feel like that might be a fight between them if he decides he wants it more urgently and she's not able to get it. Or maybe that will be the climax of the book when she gets it and that's like her highest point. I don't know.
I was kind of worried that well, in the last chapter, that short one, that he's going to be upset about the amount of money she spent to get the Bible, even though he said money's not an issue.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like he's a white old man, like hot-headed a little bit. Like, is he going to be upset with her? Because I would kind of be concerned about that. Because she just had like this really, a big moment for herself. Like, it can't end so easily, maybe, but
It can't all go smoothly.
yeah.
Something has to happen. And maybe it does, because he was the one that was like screaming at the other person, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like based on how we got introduced to him in that way, I kind of get anxious with the little interactions, like when she was like, oh, I put this out on his thing and he hasn't worked on it or he hasn't looked at it. And I'm like, oh my God, he's going to explode. Oh my gosh, he's going to explode. I think it'll happen eventually.
Yeah. And like you guys said, he's scary looking, so.
I don't know why I didn't think about looking him up.
I thought about it. I just didn't. So
As soon as they were like, she was like, I felt a vision, which I was like, oh God, I have to see what this guy looks like. And then I remembered I was like, oh, I've seen this guy before.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's scary looking.
And I was just about, like, when you were mentioning that, I'm like, maybe he was younger, but he wasn't. He was already old. So even if we look at younger, what's the whole point? She didn't meet him young.
He looks like a very stern Luigi, I feel, in some of these pictures with the eyebrows. Like from
the mustache.
Yes.
To me, because she's like, they say she's petite and small, I feel, to me, I picture the Zoe Kravitz, is that her name?
Oh.
She was in Big Little Lies.
Yeah.
That's who I picture what she looks like, kind of.
You can see that.
I totally was thinking that, I know we say this with every book, but this seems
Yeah.
this seems like something that would make a good miniseries.
Yeah. A period piece.
Yeah, they could have Zoe Kravitz.
Yeah, I'm really liking it so far.
How she looks.
That's the real Bella.
Yeah.
Belle.
Oh.
Which is interesting because I do see Zoe Kravitz in it. Very petite, very.
Zoe Kravitz, have to look. I'm behind with the times.
She looks exactly like her parents, who are Lenny Kravitz and Lisa Bonet.
Mm-hmm.
Who are both very pretty people. So she's a very pretty person. Lisa Bonet was in The Cosby Show, and
oh yeah, she's cute.
She's dating the guy who plays Aquaman, Jason Momoa. So
Oh,
Jason Momoa is Zoe Kravitz's stepdad.
Yeah, I love Jason Momoa. I was like, wait, I've looked this up. Whenever I'm like super into one celebrity, I'm like, who are you married to? Who are your kids? And I remember that he's the stepdad, and I was like, oh, this kind of works. This is kind of cute. Like, they have a cute relationship. He's funny. He's always screaming. I'm not even gonna try and do it.
Oh, I thought you were.
Yeah, I was trying, and I was like, let's not go there. Let's not go there. It's interesting. Oh.
I found this article. I don't know if you can see it though. It's too bright.
No, it's too bright.
Oh, I can see it now. Sort of.
It's
Is that her?
Yeah, that's hers. It says Bella Costa Green, the young woman in charge of JP Morgan's private library. She gets more than $10,000 a year for knowing things.
Very nice. I love it.
I think it's a little more than that article.
He must be a Ravenclaw.
Yeah, they said she makes what, 900 a year.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Mm. Now I'm fascinated by looking at all these pictures, but I will not, because something will pop up and
That
then
might be a spoiler.
exactly. There's gonna be a spoiler in the book, and then I'll be like, damn, why did I look?
Yeah, I'm very curious to see what's going to happen. I feel like we need some conflict with all this. I think the authors have done a good job about setting up the scene and the setting and introducing the characters, but I feel like there's either going to be conflict with the daughter, JP Morgan himself, or maybe like an auctioneer or a museum person.
I think
Yeah, she hasn't like gotten too much conflict so far. It's mostly just like
Everything's
her
going
angst
well.
about her past, mostly.
Mhm. Or maybe her dad will come back and be like, don't live this life anymore. I don't know.
do you guys think the dad will come back?
Could be possible.
Mm.
I think he
If this
might
was
come
not
back
a
and
historical
reveal.
fiction book. Go ahead, Julie. Sorry.
Oh, maybe the dad will come back and like reveal her true race and heritage.
That would be definitely a big plot twist.
Yeah.
I think if it wasn't a historical fiction book, I would say 100% dad is coming back because it's a historical book, like, and he lives abroad. I don't know how certain it would be that he would come back.
Good point.
But I hope he comes back because that's a lot of juicy drama.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder what will happen. I feel like, yeah, there's this is interesting so far because there's like the two sides of conflict we could have. Like there's the side where she's under her like false identity and under like, Belle Costa Green. But then there's also possibility for conflict like even with her siblings or her dad coming back or with the mom as well. So she has like two different sides that she can get conflict from.
Ooh, which now I wonder, since in the beginning she was saying that she was more like her dad, and now this whole thing happened where the dad is married and the mom is now seems to be pushing her more towards like white, this other identity. Is it because the other side is more like the dad?
Could be.
Go far away from that. Let's not have any of your dad present anymore.
Maybe she's pushier with her because she reminds the mom of the dad and the mom like can't deal with the angst. Like maybe it makes her sad, maybe she's salty, and maybe because they were closer in her childhood, she's worried about her being the one to reveal the family, even though she's like the furthest involved in her passing life, if that makes sense. So maybe it's like a security for the mom to push her even more. That way the ramifications of just revealing the truth are more severe for her because she's the one actually doing it. That's interesting.
Definitely Vanishing Half vibes.
Big time.
Yeah. Which, I
And
mean,
that one was also a historical fiction, kind of.
yeah, so I guess I did. It was a little different though.
More drama.
But yeah.
I
I mean,
read Four Winds and that was like extremely depressing and boring. I don't know if anyone read that.
Was that the
What's
one
that about?
Kristen? Is that
Yeah,
Kristen Hannah?
Is it Hannah?
I think so.
I'm looking it up.
It's during the Dust Bowl, like
It's a pretty depressing time.
yeah, it's like story of this mother and her kids. And they're trying to like move west for a better life, but it is not better.
Was it a good book?
No.
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 Well,
This
I'm
one's
glad.
I like this one better.
Okay. I was considering reading that one, but something about it just doesn't catch my eye. So I won't. Now that you said that, I won't.
Yeah, don't.
I think your book interests are kind of like aligned with mine. So if you read something and you don't like it, I trust it, and I'll be like, yeah, I'm not reading it.
Yeah, my other book club, we read it and everyone hated it.
Oh,
What the heck?
oof, damn. That's interesting.
Did
'Cause
any of you read the? Oh, go ahead.
No, go for it. I wasn't saying anything.
Did any of you like grow up reading the like Little House books
Oh,
and the other Little House, like the daughter, and then like the
The Rose
it kind of-
series, yeah.
yeah,
I did. I read
yeah,
all of them.
I read all of those, and this is obviously like not. It's an adult. That was like for kids. This is an adult version, but it kind of reminds me of that a little bit. And that, like, I read a lot of, like, not a lot, but like I read historical books and then I read fiction books. But a historical fiction book is kind of its own little thing, and it kind of reminds me of like an adult version of those books. A
I
little
can
bit.
see that.
Yeah. So far, I like it. I'm not mad. Yeah.
I like it too. I'm glad.
I'm gonna continue listening to it on quicker speed.
How
It's just,
are you listening on Audible or on?
yeah,
what-
on
okay.
Audible.
What
I'm
speed are you
listening to it
listening to?
1.2,
Oh,
which
I
is
think
not
me
even that
too.
fast. Because 1.3 is like, it sounds like she's a chipmunk, but 1.2
yeah.
is like, it's good.
Yeah, that's how I'm listening to 1.2. I think
Yeah.
I put 1.4 and I was like, oh God, no. I think I'm gonna completely lose what she's saying, and I'm just no. And I lowered it down and I'm like, this is slow. But then the next one is just no, and I was like, I'll have to deal with it. So I was actually listening to it and like I had the book open, and I was reading faster and I was like, damn, I should just read it. But I was, like I said, I was at the gym and I'm like, yeah. The next section is chapter 11 to 19. That's around 80 pages. Do you guys think the 80 or so pages was okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just maybe not because of the holidays and stuff. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I thought it was doable. I read it. I basically started yesterday.
I'm surprised I only read it because, girl.
It was good. I mean, I like it. I read it during my lunch and then I was like in it. So I'm like, let's go.
Yeah, maybe history is your thing, Danny.
Oh, I like it because I feel cool because this is the one I chose. So
Who chose it? I'm like, oh, good fit.
At first, I was like, why? Like, I already had this book. I already had it because of the book of the month thing. But I was like, I don't know about this. I don't know how I feel about it. But it's getting better, so I'm not mad. But yeah, chapter 11 to 19.
So
read 20.
Did not read 20.
Okay. I feel like you always have to say that because then it's like
I do, because Karina will go ahead, and even though I still put 11 to 19, people think, no, not 19. And I was like, no, don't read 20.
Yeah, I need it because if I look at the page by accident, I'll like read half of it.
Yeah, and at least the Audible says the chapters.
Yeah.
Yeah, this time it matches, unlike the last one where I kept reading ahead on accident.
And like Misery was impossible on Audible.
Yeah, that was like a game. I was trying to figure out where to stop reading or listening.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was interesting. I think I listened to a portion and I was confused. I was like, I don't even know what she's saying. I don't even know where I'm at. Okay, so there's that. Any more comments or any more stuff about this book? I'll stop recording.